everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and today we're going to be making a 4 1/4 inch square card. So I'm going to be using a couple different stamp sets. I'm using the Hardwood background stamp set, the Fall Fest stamp set. I'm going to use the shorter pumpkin, and then the Holiday Home I'm going to use the So Grateful for You along with the little set of leaves. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I did my die cutting first just to save some time, so I die cut 2 circles in using the Circle Collections dies. I did one in the Crumb Cake cardstock and one in Very Vanilla. So I'm going to take my little Very Vanilla one, and for this one I'm going to be doing first kind of like a wreath outline stamp. So I'm going to use Cajun Craze and Mossy Meadow for my 2 inks. And I am going to start off by stamping the little set of leaves all around the outside. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with my Mossy Meadow, and I am just going to keep turning my stamp in different directions and stamp this all around the outside of our little circle here. Then I'll just go ahead and clean my stamp off. And then my next color is going to be the Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to use that to fill in some of the different spots going around my little circle here. Just like that. So we made a nice little background. The next thing I'm going to pull out is my Pumpkin Pie ink and my Early Espresso. And then I'm going to take the little pumpkin that's from the Fall Fest stamp set. I'm going to stamp up my pumpkin, and I'm going to try to avoid the stem because I want to ink that up in the Early Espresso ink. And my Pumpkin Pie ink pad has got a lot of ink on it. And then just to do this a little easier, I'm going to take a little sponge dauber and I'll ink up my stem with my sponge dauber. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right into my little circle. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Cajun Craze. I'm going to take that pumpkin, and then I'm going to use a sponge dauber again, and I'm just going to daub some of this Cajun Craze on here. And that I'm going to stamp right over the pumpkin that I stamped already, and I apologize in advance if my head gets in the way. And that creates a nice little shaded look on our pumpkin. So I'm going to take my sentiment, which is the So Grateful for You, and then stamp that onto a piece, a very small piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. I'm going to stamp that right there. And then I'm going to take my scissors and cut this into a little bit of a banner shape. So I'm just going to cut a slit right in the center and then go from each corner to that center mark to make my little banner end. I'm going to do that on both sides. So I'm just going to take a little section of the dimensionals and put it onto the back of my sentiment, and that will get adhered right above my little pumpkin image. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Hardwood background stamp. I'm going to ink that up with Sahara Sand, and then I'm going to stamp this onto my card base, which is the 4 1/4 inch square card. So I'm just going to take that, put that down right onto my background. I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper so that I can make sure my card base is inked up really well. And that creates a really cute background. As this dries, it'll get a little bit lighter. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my corner rounder. So I'm just going to use my 1/4 inch side of my quarter rounder, and we're going to punch the bottom half of our card So I have my card base already. I'm going to take my sentiment and pumpkin image and adhere that to my piece of crumb cake cardstock that I cut out with the larger size circle. And that I'm just going to adhere directly down. And we'll just go ahead and center that right in the center of that circle. And then we'll add some dimensionals to the back. And then we'll adhere this right to the front of our card. So we created a cute little fun fall card. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.